I, I wish the economy wasn't so bad, but nobody can do much about that, um, except for the president and everybody. But just working and being able to go home and have a place to call home and being able to turn on the air conditioner, pay the bills, and just be happy and living one day at a time is not have to worry about money for alcohol and drugs, and it's been one heck of a turnaround in my life. 4.5 years, and you were there, you seen me, Dean, and Terry, and it's just been fantastic in my life now. I've got great friends that understand I don't drink and are there to help me out, and it's awesome. I don't know what else to say. It's just awesome.
Have there been any times that have been difficult in sobriety? Like, what's been like the hardest part of staying sober over the past 4.5 years? Has anything happened that's come up and kind of questioned or tested your faith in your ability to remain sober? I mean, because life still goes on when we get sober. Shit still happens. The world doesn't stop because Dean or Dave got sober. Things are still going to happen. We're going to lose people that we love. We're going to be disappointed. Sometimes we're going to set expectations a little too high. Sometimes people are going to set expectations on us a little too high. And can you give me any examples of, throughout the past 4.5 years, what would have been some of the difficulties that you've overcome and persevered through and haven't picked up a drink or a drug?
Some of the things that I persevered through, two major things in my 4.5 years. One was my grandfather's passing. He was my step-grandfather. Him and I never seen eye to eye while I was growing up. He was one of the one of the main guys that I started drinking. One of the reasons also I started drinking, but his passing in Oregon, I flew back there. I had some stuff there, and I wanted to make amends. And I think that was probably one of the hardest things in my sobriety that I had to do, because I disliked him so much and what he had done to the family, and what he had done to me personally through his mental abuse growing up. I hated the man for many, many years, but if it wasn't for AA and learning some of the steps, learning to forgive and make amends with people, even though he was lying on his deathbed, I grabbed his hand and I made my amends with him. To me, it meant a lot. A lot of family members don't understand exactly how him and I went at each other's throats all the time. He so much wanted to be more of a father figure, but I heard so many stories about what this man had done to my mom, to her brothers, and everything growing up, and I seen it firsthand. I seen what he had done to me, and it was tough. And then there was the loss of my animal while in AA, which meant everything to me at the time. It was something nice to come home to. It was a cat named Harmony, just the best cat in the whole world. I don't know if I could ever get another cat. People love their pets, and at that time, it was the hardest thing. I had spent a whole ton of money trying to fix my cat at the vets, and there was nothing pretty much they could do. And the cat was only 6 years old. And I remember saying enough was enough, like I did when I wanted to quit drinking. I said, I can't deal with the bills anymore from the vets or any of that. And I just said it was time to let go. So that was probably one of the toughest. I remember pulling over just bawling on the highway on the way home and calling my sister and having to explain to her what I just did, because it was her cat too. And she gave Harmony to me to help me get sober. So it was really tough.
Through both of those experiences, you didn't pick up. What would be your message to someone out there? Could be a fellow truck driver that's still suffering and still struggling with addiction and staying sober, that may be afraid to reach out for help because they may lose their CDL or they may get fired, and that's your livelihood. Or maybe it's just somebody watching that's still suffering. Maybe it's a family member of somebody that's still suffering, and they're just at a loss. What would be your message in the last 2-3 minutes to someone still sick and suffering, or someone that loves someone that's still struggling with their addiction? What would you tell them?
The number one message that I would have, if you're struggling with addiction, alcoholism, or having a family crisis of any kind, pick up the phone. There's go on the internet. There's phone numbers. There's websites. There's people out there that will pick up the phone, will answer your emails, no matter what. If you're looking for help, whether or not it's drugs, drinking, anything in life. There's self-help organizations out there that will help you out. AA, NA, even rehabs will, if you pick up the number or pick up the phone and call a rehab, they will have the information that you need to help you out. Truck driving now, if there's any truck drivers out there that are having a hard time with alcohol or drugs, and I know that drugs are not allowed whatsoever in the workforce, in the truck driving industry. If you hold a commercial driver's license, it's worse now than ever to do drugs and drive, because CSA is all over you. DOT, it's a nightmare out there. In my 18 years of driving truck, I've seen this industry change overnight, and it's only gotten worse.
So if you need help, get help.
Yes, definitely. If you need help, just pick up the phone.